Quick construction update right by Universal Cinemark Theaters. Cinnabon is still behind construction walls, and we're not sure what's coming here. But whatever it is, it looks like it's going to consume this entire place. So either it's going to be a mega Cinnabon or something completely different. But I hope it's something that can do breakfast, because Cinnabon had fantastic, fantastic breakfast here.
Glasses are all mucked up.
Oh, this might be a clue of what we're here to cover today. Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Main Street Fire Rescue. And I'm going to place this vlog in service as of right now, 9:45 a.m. Monday, August the 26th. Can you believe it, everybody? We are in the last week of August. By the weekend, it will be September. Unbelievable. Why did I come out here today? Well, if you hadn't noticed by some of the clues just a few moments ago, Friday night, 4 nights from tonight, is the start of arguably one of the best Halloween events ever. Subjective, but it has that claim. Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights 31. I cannot wait to see what they have in store this year. And as you can tell behind me, back there, I got a little power tower in my hand here. We're getting the day started right. The big Universal Halloween Horror Nights medallion, banner, whatever you'd like to call it, is up in the archway, and some of the main houses are up along the smaller archways. Since this is Halloween-loween, everybody, and everything gets kicked off this weekend. Now, Mickey's Not So Scary got kicked off a couple weeks ago. They started August 9th, I think it was, very early. This weekend kind of gets everything started, and then SeaWorld Howl-O-Scream and Busch Gardens Howl-O-Scream starts the weekend following. So it is Halloween time officially in Central Florida. So I figured we'd come out today and see what Universal has in store for us for this year's version of Halloween Horror Nights. Everything inside the park should be just about ready for Halloween Horror Nights. There might be a few things that aren't quite ready yet. They might be doing some final touch-ups, but for the most part, what Halloween Horror Nights is going to offer should be about ready to go. So I'm excited to see everything. The last time I was here a couple weeks ago, which was right before the Olympics, they had just a few props out and about. You could tell they were getting ready, but with the event being 4 days away, they should just about have everything all set up. So I cannot wait to see what's going to be available this year. I do plan on attending the event. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. I thought about getting the Rush of Fear Pass, which is the first basically 2.5-3 weeks of the event. A couple years ago, we did basically the full event pass, and because it was so insanely crowded, we hardly ever used it, so it kind of was like a giant throwaway of money. But it's just, Halloween Horror Nights ever since 2020 has been getting insanely crowded. That's been my only complaint with this event, is it has been extremely oversold in the past few years. Prior to 2020, I never remember having these problems, but now it just seems like every year is just more and more and more and more people. And last year they had a really big issue with the express passes, as it was very well known throughout social media and pretty much everywhere that Universal way oversold the express, because there was videos everywhere showing how the standby line was moving much faster than the express line was. So I believe they kind of cut down on that this year, hopefully. I might do the express. They do have, if they're going to bring it back this year, they used to have an option. They might still this year. I think it's the express after 11, and I think it's for the last hour and a half, 2 hours of the event, you can get an express pass for half off. Honestly, that's the way to do it. You know, show up, because honestly, if you get here early, it's super crowded. The best way is to get here about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then go get it if you're going to do the express. Or if you're going to come in early, do the houses at the back of the park, because everybody's going to do the houses in the front of the park and kind of work your way backwards. That also does help. So Not quite sure again how we're going to do Halloween Horror Nights this year, but I will be bringing it to you in some way, shape, or form, along with all the other Halloween events around Central Florida. And what is hard to believe, and I keep saying it because Halloween is almost here. I mean, as far as Halloween's still about 2 months away yet, but it is wild to think that in just a few short months, where the Halloween Horror Nights medallion banner is, there'll be a giant Christmas wreath hanging there pretty soon, and there'll be Christmas decorations all throughout the park. It's amazing once this time of year gets here, just how fast everything goes, but it is such an amazing time to be here and live here, because there's always no shortage of things to do, but this time of year, there's so much going on all the time. It is really, really enjoyable to live here. And if you've never visited here during this time of year, would highly recommend it if you can fit it in your budget and your schedule. So without wasting any more time, we're gonna get our rear ends inside of Universal Orlando, the Universal Studios side, and we're going to walk around the park and see what all is in store for Halloween Horror Nights 2024. Let's get started, shall we? Welcome everybody. Here in the entry plaza, there's all the lighting. They will light this up about as creepy as you can imagine. And straight ahead is the Halloween Horror Nights medallion. And we'll go over all of the houses too that they're gonna have here. The ones that they have displayed on the archways here, these are the main like IP style of houses that they're gonna have. And then Universal also will include 6 more. There's 4 on display here. There'll be 6 more kind of non-IP houses, and sometimes those are really good. So right here we have these 2. I'm interested to see A Quiet Place. I'm very curious how they're going to do that one. I think a lot of people are. And then I think the one I'm most excited for is this Ghostbusters Frozen Empire house. The Ghostbusters house they had a couple years ago was excellent. And then they're gonna have a new one this year from the Monsters series called Eternal Bloodlines. Getting through the main entrance, no problem. I love Universal's new ticketing scanners. I still will say, and I'll say it every time from now on, the fact that it recognizes you by scanning your eyes is very creepy, but it's very efficient. First off, we have our first Halloween Horror Nights structure, which means there's probably going to be people up there. Lots of lighting, I would imagine. There's probably going to be some flame effects. There usually are on these type of things. Now I am curious to see if this is going to be a scare zone. In years past, the entryway here past Minion Land has always been a scare zone of some sort, but there's nothing here outside of that structure. So we'll have to keep an eye on things. Here we are, first stop of the day. Music Plaza, or in Halloween Horror Nights, this is a lot of queuing. If you've never seen this before, I'm about to show you something. All of these barriers here that you see, this will all be filled with people waiting to walk through the various haunted houses. There's usually 2 of them in this section. So this queuing is usually for 2 different houses, but you can see just how many people this event brings in. And this will be every bit full. So let's go take a look and see if this is going to be 1 house or 2 here. So right here is the entryway. They'll have the haunted house and the wait time, and then whichever one it's going to be, obviously it'll be behind this curtain. But I only see 1 screen. So this might be all for 1 house. A lot of times there'll be 2 of these side by side and you'll go either way, but there appears to be only 1. The other option would be is that this is 1 house and then this one here is the other, and then the next sign that they haven't put up yet will be right here. We'll see. And then they'll also have a express pass entrance as well, so that could be this also. I would love to pull the curtain back, but I can't quite see. I can see some of the font behind there, but I can't tell which house this is going to be. In years past, this is where the Ghostbusters house was, the original one. And usually, one of the main haunted houses is usually right in this area. And what's crazy is this is where this is at. This is nowhere near the entrance to the haunted houses themselves. You have to get through all this and then go back there, backstage, and you can't see it from here, but right about where my finger is pointing, where that bird almost ran into me, right where my finger's pointing, there's a corridor there, and it goes right between the two sound stages. They usually will have one house in one sound stage and one in the other, and so you still have to get back there yet. If this is completely full, this is usually about a 2.5 to 3 hour wait. Keep that in mind if you're coming to Horror Nights. And over here by the Tonight Shop, there will probably, oh, yep, there is another entrance back here. There's actually two of them over here. Hashtag the panda's out walking around. So right here will be another entryway. There's a small gap in the curtain right there that you can see. I'm not gonna obviously stick my camera through there, but I can see it. This looks like it's gonna be Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. The entrance is gonna be right here. Where they're gonna go in at from here, guess is as good as mine. But this will be another entrance right here. And then right down here beneath the turnaround for the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket will be another entryway right here. Actually, there's two here. So this is a big corner. There's 3 haunted house entrances here. There's one here, and right over here is another one. So this one will probably take everybody back this way, and then this entryway will be right back this way, and they'll divide and conquer right here. Check this out. They're bringing the Tribute Store back to its original location. With the last couple ones, it's been over on Sunset Avenue in the old Williams of Hollywood prop shop store, but they're bringing it back to the Macy's building. This looks awesome. I mean, leave it up to Universal for an amazing theming, right? This looks like this is going to be a fun tribute store. If you've never been to one of these tribute stores, it's kind of a place where you can get merch for the event and the season. And then there's also a whole bunch of theming. It's basically an attraction within itself. And then right behind the tribute store here, we have a stage set up. It's Ye Olde Torture Fair. Looks pleasant. So Universal has these different scare zones, which are notorious for drawing large crowds, but they're also very, very well themed. So I'm very curious to see what's going to be here. In years past, as long as I can remember coming here, there's been a stage show in this area. And then right here, this is kind of neat because you can see this during the day. These little foot pedals here, the scare actors that are up here will hit this. There might be something in front of that so people can't see it, but they'll hit that, and then behind that burlap sack there is usually a speaker that's obviously themed and hidden away, but they'll hit that pedal, and that's where the special sound effects come out of. It's pretty neat. You can see one here. There's one here. There's another one. And there's one here. And there's another one. So this is kind of neat to be able to see this before they go, and I'm sure these are going to be covered up at some point. But if you ever wonder how the sound effects are generated, right there, those foot pedals. Remember when I was here last time, I said this looked like this was going to be a carnival or a fair? Well, I was kind of right, but it's a different kind of fair. This is called the breaking wheel. I'm guessing this is probably some kind of torture device. Looks probably, just by judging the birds and that are around there, yeah, this is probably going to be moderately terrifying. Holy cow, what do we got here? The Brazen Bull, huh? Ah, nice. Oh, here's a bunch more. See, these are more foot pedals for the special effects. This is going to be a pretty neat scare zone, I think. This one's called Aim and Maim. Fantastic. We got some ye olde torture goods here. What do we got here? The Blood Eagle. Okay. This area that I'm walking through usually has some of the best scare zones of the event. This one and then the San Francisco Wharf area. I remember my first time going to Halloween Horror Nights, which was in 2014. Hard to believe that's been 10 years ago. This was the Purge scare zone right here. To this day, that's still one of my all-time favorite scare zones. We're gonna make a lap around this way. We'll do a full circle. We'll come back over here. Right over here by Fast and or Furious. Also, the old entrance to Beetlejuice Graveyard Review. Let's not forget that. One of the greatest stage shows probably that Universal had. I do appreciate the fact that they did leave the fountain out here that was in front of that attraction. And so Fast and Furious is closed right now. The family's out on a mission. I'm not sure if it's closed because they're having a refurbishment, or it's down, or it's because I found our next Halloween Horror Nights haunted house entryway. Could be any one of the above mentioned. Oh, they got Dom's Charger back here. That's cool. And then straight ahead, right where those two people are standing, there's a couple big black covers. It looks like they're covering a sign. I think that's a directional wayfinder, meaning that'll be a sign there that tells you where you can find all the various shows and haunted houses and scare zones and everything. In the San Francisco Wharf area, we found our next scare zone. This is going to be Blumhouse Productions. I can only imagine what this is going to be like. This is probably going to be pretty damn impressive. Anybody that's followed these films, they are way up there as far as creating horror films, and they are just insanely creepy. They're very well done. So this is probably going to be a very good scare zone here. This is right in front of Fast and Furious. One year they had a really neat scare zone here. It was like a old abandoned haunted wharf, and they had a wrecked ship parked up here and everything. It was really, really good. And then right here, they got an advertisement for an upcoming movie by Blumhouse Productions. I like this. Yeah, pretty sure this is probably going to be moderately terrifying. So rounding the corner here, on our way towards Men in Black, we're going to come upon the stage show. This used to be Bill and Ted's show. They ended that a few years ago. A lot of people still miss it. I thought it was fantastic. I'm surprised that they did end it, but it is what it is. So this year's show in the old Fear Factor Theater, Nightmare Fuel, Nocturnal Circus. See, they're gonna have showtimes all throughout the night. Honestly, some of the best showtimes to go to on these are the last ones of the night. Usually 8, 9:30, mobbed. As it gets later on in the night, not too bad. I'm very curious as to what they're gonna do with this building. There were rumors a couple years ago that this was all going to be coming down and they were going to extend Diagon Alley, but that never happened, or that was just a rumor. And so it's just sat, it sits vacant almost the entire year except for about 2 months. See, this is one thing that you cannot do here unless you have a media pass, so you cannot film the houses. So basically what we have to do is film going up to the house and then talk about it afterwards. And it looks like right here I see 2 screens, so we're going to have 2 separate houses back here. And I'm guessing the entryway will be right through here. And it'll take you to the back of house is what they call it here. So it's very hard to see, but right behind Men in Black you can see a house back there. These are the makeshift houses. These are the ones that they set up, and then they spend months getting things decorated inside. When I worked here 2 years ago, I was here in March, keep in mind, and they were already building the haunted houses for 2023 in March. So yeah, they start really quick. Men in Black, 15 minutes, not bad. I would ride, but I got the power tower here. I can't ride with that. Universal's Horror Nights theming on their shirts is different this year. It's interesting. It's kind of more of a 90s style of vibe, right?
There might be anything I want to get done. I ain't afraid of that.
Well, right between the Coca-Cola shop here and the Men in Black shop, got another Halloween Horror Nights house entrance. It's going to be right back through here. So you'll come through here. Like I said, they'll have standby and express divided up here. Wait time will be on the screen and go more than likely probably right back through there. Again, that'll take you to the back of house. And if you've never been here during Horror Nights, whenever you come here for the first time, once you leave this area, you go to the back of house area, you have no idea how big this park actually is till you see things from behind the scenes. This place is gigantic. And then usually right here is an exit way from some of the haunted houses. They bring everybody right out this way. Walking through Les Simpsons area. This is usually a scare zone. A lot of times they usually have the cheerleaders with the chainsaws running around in here. Curious to see if they'll do that again. And right up here by the Quick E Mart, our next haunted house location. Right here. Again, they'll probably have these gates wide open. We'll enter through this way. Back of house. The majority of these haunted houses are all back of house. Exiting out of Springfield, we got to acknowledge Doc Brown's DeLorean and the Jules Verne from Back to the Future 3. And right here it puts us at the newly remodeled DreamWorks Land and the E.T. Adventure. There is a sign here. Obviously the curtains are open. There's nothing there yet. So this looks like it'll be either the entrance to another house, or this is going to be a signboard to give you directions on where to go. See what's back there. See if they brought any of the haunted houses back this way. They've had a couple of the haunted house entryways right back here. And when this fountain used to be the Barney Fountain, they used to have this really dimly lit and this like really deep, creepy blue light, and it was nighttime, and it was all dark back here. Yeah, it didn't get much creepier than that. But I don't see any Halloween Horror Nights signage back here, so they might not be doing that this year. Because what they would do is they'd bring people right back through here, right where the Imagination Celebration is. That used to be Barney's, it was a Barney show, and you'd go back through there, and they'd usually have 2 haunted house entryways through that area. These people have no clue. That guy almost walked right into it. That would have been priceless.
1, 2, 3. That's a kick. We all need to work together.
On our way out, let's check out the kitty cats here at Mama Luna's. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. There's so many of them. I thought it was only a few animations. There's probably hundreds in here. Oh, there's the bowler hat cat again. Yeah, you could spend some time in here. There's a lot to do. So this is the Mama Luna's cat house. Or I should say, this is Mama Luna's cat house. That is a really neat attraction. So it looks like this year the DreamWorks Land area will be not part of Halloween Horror Nights like it used to be when it was the Woody Woodpecker Kids Zone. Because, you know, what's more creepy than a dimly lit kids area with a dimly lit Barney fountain going back to 2 haunted houses? And they didn't have it there last year because of the construction for DreamWorks Land. As we head into the New York Central Park area, this is going to be, I forget the name of this, but it's going to have a swamp type theming, obviously. A little gator hanging out here. Even just utilizing a standard mirror, it looks like swamp water. In one of the houses a couple years ago, Universal used this special effect by using a set of mirrors. And I think it was, I forget what, all I remember was, I don't remember the name of the house, but I remember the guy constantly near the end going, "Where's my gold?" And there was a part in that haunted house where they used mirror effects, and it looked like you were walking across a ledge 100+ feet in the air. It was unbelievable how they created that. And it was just done with mirrors. Oh, that's really cool. That looks like something you'd see in Red Dead Redemption in the swamps. Or I should say Red Dead Redemption 2. And what's really neat is because this is already kind of a more narrow area anyway, so this is perfect for fog effects and just to create a really dark, creepy vibe. They got a freaking wrecked swamp boat here. This is neat. This is really cool. Really cool. All right, so sometimes they have haunted houses down this way and then this way. So what we'll do is we'll walk this way down Sunset Boulevard, and then we'll do a loop around and come up by Transformers over here. And that'll be about everything. That will have covered the whole park. Not quite sure what this one's gonna be, but looks cool. Oh my gosh. And the summer the summer tribute store is still open. Okay, this was not here before when I did this the first time. This has been put in. I don't know when they put this in, but does anybody remember this? Does this look familiar? This is neat. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's the phone booth. It's how they got to meet Socrates. Not part of Halloween Horror Nights. The Mystery Machine is not. This is. This looks interesting, whatever it is. There have been times in years past where this has been an entryway to a Halloween Horror Nights haunted house right in here. So here we go. We're going to go right down between the Illumination Minions Land and the old Shrek experience, or the Villain Con Minion Blast Ride. Nope, nothing here. So it looks like we've covered all the haunted houses. They do have some in some newer locations this year. Let's take a look and see what we're going to have here. One thing I want you to notice, there are no prices on some of these. Wow, you can get a 20-ounce souvenir cup for 20 bucks. Refill it for a whole $16. Jeez. I'll tell you what, man, you're gonna get drunk at Halloween Horror Nights, they're gonna hurt you. They're gonna demolish your freaking wallet. Look at that for water, man. There you go. If you want to see the full menu item for Horror Nights, there's the QR code for you. This is for all of the event menus. Oh, this is gonna be way different down here. In years past, it's just been a bar. It looks like they're gonna add some kind of either this is gonna be an additional, not like a scare zone, but a presentation type thing that's gonna go on here. Oh, and they got a cool photo op right here too. Over by where they do the show here and by Transformers, if you look on these boxes here, this was put in years ago. This was done before 2019 even. So if you look, Universal's been dropping hints for Epic Universe for a long time. And right there is one of my all-time favorite rides. And then over here in the New Orleans Square area, they're gonna have a bunch of food booths. This is definitely gonna be Ghostbusters. Remember this from the movie? Oh, that's kind of cool. This is the Ghostbusters Firehouse. So this one's obviously based on Frozen Empire. That wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be though either. Right up here by the Rip Ride Rocket, they got a small little section here where they're selling some Halloween Horror Nights merch. Seeing these little light ups here reminds me of SeaWorld. They have something similar to that, but it's called the No Scare Medallion or something like that you can buy, and it lights up, and if you put that around your neck, the scare actors know not to mess with you. Pretty neat concept. And over here we got the unofficial mascot of Halloween Horror Nights, Lil Boo. This became popular over the last few years. I think social media made this popular, because Lil Boo never used to really be a thing. It just kind of was there, and just like anything else, they got very, very, very popular. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. That's everything. Now, I'm sure there'll be more added in the next coming days as we count the days down to the first official night of Halloween Horror Nights. I'm curious about the main entryway and what they're going to do here. And I walked right past it when I first came in here. Right by Despicable Me Minion Mayhem is the entrance to the 10th house. The 10th haunted house, I should say. Right here. So it looks like you'll enter in down this way. And again, go right past here and go right to the back of house. And I'm sure there'll be a ton of queuing back there. Man, I would love this. I can't wait to see what these are going to be. Usually the main IP houses, like what are presented out on the front archways, these are the ones that are usually up front like this. Some of the ones that Universal creates just out of imagination, those ones are usually located toward the back. Well, we'll know in a couple nights what these are going to be. Yeah, I can see this thing having all kinds of sound, lighting, and fire effects, all kinds of cool stuff. They got some Ghostbusters Halloween Horror Nights merch here. So that 24 at the end was throwing me off. Like I said earlier, I'm like, Halloween Horror Nights 24, that was back in 2015. No, 2024. All right, one more thing I want to point out. They got some How to Train Your Dragon new roller coaster shirts right there now with the sheep launchers. Once again, tons of Little Boo merch. Ooh. Does this smell like the haunted houses? Not quite. I tell you what, if they ever make a candle that smells like the Halloween Horror Nights haunted houses, and if you've been to any one of them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All of the Halloween Horror Nights haunted houses have a distinct smell. If they can ever figure out how to recreate that, I will buy a year's supply of those candles. Classic. I love it. I have to pick one of these up. Kind of like the Franken Minion one here. Well, that was fantastic. Universal Orlando is just about ready for Halloween Horror Nights 2024. Man, we parked all the way in the basement this morning in Jaws. Been a long time since I've parked there. Especially if you're on the ground floor. It's way back here. Great sign. Well, everybody, there is a little preview of what's to come for Halloween Horror Nights. All of the houses are in place. The scare zones are still being worked on. The merch is out. The food booths are up. Everything's about ready to go. So, yeah, can't wait to experience this. I will definitely not be here night one or this weekend for that matter. Probably be next week at some point. For one, I'm working all weekend. It is what it is, you know, there's a lot of demand at these theme parks, so they really need the help. So I'm going to work this weekend, and then next week, when I get a chance, get a couple days off, or even after work, I'll come out here and then do Horror Nights. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring us this year. Let me know down in the comments below. You going to go to Halloween Horror Nights this year? Going to do any of the other Halloween events? Let me know. Or do you have any Halloween events that are really, really good up in your area where you live? Because honestly, sometimes these smaller towns and that can create some pretty cool Halloween haunted houses and scare zones and all kinds of features that they can do. For example, in Indiana, near Indianapolis, they have this thing. I don't know if they still have it or not, but it was called the Fields of Fear. And I went in 2013, which was shortly about a year before I moved down south. And that was really neat. You know, nothing like a haunted cornfield at night where there's not really that many lights. So that was a lot of fun. I did that with some friends from the firehouse. But yeah, a lot of these little towns can create some pretty cool stuff. So let me know where you're at, what they do for Halloween. And we're going to bring a lot more to you, so thanks again for watching. Thank you for the subscriptions. Give this video vlog a thumbs up. It keeps us relevant in the algorithm. And if you like what you see, give us a subscribe. We're on the march to 1,000. As I said before, thank you all very much. Can't do it without you. Everybody that watches is what drives this. So if nobody watched, well, we'd be still stuck on 0. So thank you very much. I appreciate every one of you. Main Street Fire Rescue, out of service. This vlog has been the truth. Everything's been actual. And I hope for everybody watching out there, it's been mighty satisfactual. See ya.